teams here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Early down steps to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this team, has got to be priority one.
Trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Back to throw here. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
He'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll set up a throw. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And now off to the races, down the right side. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Following the interception here, Mariota. And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And we do talk a lot about how the tight end position has changed in the NFL. Here's a great example. It used to be that they were linemen who occasionally caught passes. Now they're wide receivers who occasionally block people. And right here, this isn't tight end speed. It's definitely wide receiver speed.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, next-gen stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken way up at the 25. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Losers in the season opener on Sunday. They get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is. And we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they play much better in game 2. So I would agree with you totally on that.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Fournette, a first down carry. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down. Mariota. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. There he goes, right side. And this is going to be brought back at give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Fournette on the counter.
He'll get this up to about the 44.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
The Bucs had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Mariota.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And the Falcons will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep is Micah Hyde.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we could walk away with a win.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. On second down, here's Fournette. 14 yards there on a Buccaneer first down. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A 2nd and 11 from the 19. Again, it's Fournette. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, Mariota. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Up the middle they go with Sanders. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
On the return, it's high. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Beating him there with his legs, 21 yards, first down.
Well, I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On second down, Mariota again. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Here we go.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So a 4-point game here as we get set to resume action in this 3rd quarter of play.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They go play action. Mariota. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Mariota on 3rd and 2. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Chris Godwin.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Buccaneers have retaken a 3rd-quarter lead.
Extra point up and through. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, it's offense. They've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. That complete to Drake London. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.